Good morning. I hope everyone's well. Here we are again for another writing sprint. It's that time of the week again. While I remember, next week, because of the bank holiday, I'm going to do this on the Tuesday. So we're still starting the working week together, but on Tuesday instead of Monday. So as usual, we will do 3 writing sprints, 15 minutes each. So we do 45 minutes of writing with 5-minute little breaks in between. So yeah, I hope all of your weeks have been good since last we met. Let me know what you're planning to work on today. It doesn't have to be a writing project even. It can be, you just want some company while you're doing your taxes or something. You might be able to hear I'm a bit croaky. I have been since Thursday. So Wednesday night I had band rehearsal and I woke up Thursday and I was kind of croaky and I thought, maybe maybe I hurt my voice, maybe I overdid things, or we actually hadn't had a rehearsal in a little while. So I thought perhaps I just sort of overdid it. And it just hasn't gone away. And over the weekend, definitely like Friday evening and Saturday, I felt really quite rubbish. So, but I feel fine now again. So I don't know if I felt rubbish because I was tired. It had been quite a big week. I don't know. I don't know if it's vocal strain. I don't know if I'm unwell. I don't know if it's both things. But yeah, I'm still here with this slightly croaky voice, but I do feel today totally fine. And I don't know. So anyway, yeah, I do have a slightly husky voice today. I mean, I work in schools, so there's bound to always be something kind of floating around. But yeah, last week was lovely. I did 2 days teaching. So we chatted on Monday. Tuesday, Wednesday, I was then teaching. And then Thursday and Friday, I did school visits. So on Thursday, I was at St. Nicholas Primary Academy in New Romney. And on Friday, I was at the Beacon in Folkestone. And that was really, really lovely. Just doing like some assemblies. It's always good. But yeah, it was just a really, really busy week. I have a school visit on Wednesday this week in Canterbury Primary. Is it Canterbury Primary School? Yes, it is. And I'm teaching on Friday. So tomorrow I have a full day book work to get lots and lots of bits and pieces done. I've got a meeting in the morning, and then otherwise I'm able to sort of admin, because this is the thing, when I'm out of the house, so I'm doing lots of school visits and those kinds of things, then I the sort of admin side of things can fall away a little bit, or just become quite stressful, and then I'm not sure on Thursday yet. So that's my week. But I am hoping over the forthcoming weeks to have some more time at home, because actually I haven't done any more writing since last Monday. It's part of why I love these live streams, actually, because it does help me to do some writing as well. Look at this bump on my hair. Where is it? That side. 90s me would never have accepted that. Let's fix that. After a fashion anyway. Oh dear. Yeah, so because I was just kind of out of the house a lot, and then when I was in the house, I had lots of sort of urgent tasks to do. So it does affect the time I can spend creatively. I did, however, do quite a lot of research. I did a lot of reading last week, so that was good. So, still in the back of my mind. So this morning, I'm going to start putting some of the things I read into words. I'm working on a non-fiction book, and yeah, I'm excited about it. Last week, I kind of did half of that and half editing, so we'll see how today goes. So we are going to do our first 15 minutes. I'll stick the banner up now so I don't forget. I will, as usual, mute myself. You'll see me talking to my, what are they called? What's the collective device name? My intelligent music playing friend. I don't know. There is a name. I can't think what it is. Digital. No, it's not. I don't know. Anyway, so you'll see me talking to that, but I'll be back in 15 minutes. Enjoy your writing. Right. I'm going to mute myself. Okay, that's the end of our first writing sprint. Hope that went well. Hope you got some writing done. I definitely did. The reading that I did this week, I think, has really, really helped. I have a little bit more sense of, well, some of the things I want to include, and I have a couple of books that are very like stickered up that I can use, but at the moment I'm sort of shaping what I'm writing. But yeah, last week I was really struggling to get any words down, but today I feel like I've got lots and lots to write, so that's good. And as I say, hopefully I'll get a little bit more time this week to do more work on this. It's always time. It's that's the challenge. Do you know, if anyone else is watching this who is a parent, I sometimes think back to before I had children. And to be fair, I did always have some project on the go, or like, I did use my time quite productively. But when I think about times when I would claim to be really busy, it just doesn't even compare. And I think now, like, if I didn't have the kids around, if I lived on my own, for example, then if I was really into writing something, I could write all day, which I do tend to hyper focus like that, write for hours and hours and hours. And I could just, every book idea that comes to me, I could just like obsess over it until it's done, and then like take a break from that. And then, that probably is my natural working life. Whereas because that's not the nature, thankfully, of how our family is, that I I have to have like a schedule and plan out the times when I'm going to write and make myself write at those times. It's much healthier, but I just sometimes think like, wow, like I can't stay up till goodness knows in the morning finishing off something or other, which I definitely would have done 15 years ago. I don't know, just sometimes look at life and I wonder, well, as the kids get older, so my youngest is 6. And so that means that we have to, help her get ready for bed, sit with her in the evening while she falls asleep, because she likes to have someone with her. Our evening is still taken up with helping her, whereas my older children obviously, sort themselves out. I've got an 11-year-old and a 13-year-old. So they, can get themselves ready for bed, and we don't have to do anything other than sometimes prompt them. But, so that takes up a portion of the evening. All of the things we sort of have to do to support like younger children who need more things done for them. That does take up so much time. So I wonder, wow, when the children are older and they're doing more for themselves and they can sort of get more involved, then, then the nature of everything changes again. And for example, when I'm not having to do the school run to pick up small children, and like, they're either getting themselves home, or when they get home, I can then continue working because I don't have to like look after them and all. You just sort of look at it. Obviously, I am going to and want to spend time with my children, but the nature of when you have to do those things and what they look like changes. So yeah, I just sometimes look at the passing of time and think, right now, my writing working days have to be within school hours, and therefore I have to like force myself to be creative at a time when I have time, instead of just when I like feel the urge or like feel the muse. And I just think it's interesting sometimes to think about the pros and cons of all of those. And as I say, for me, obviously, the schedule really helps, and I do think it's quite healthy to not, fall into a pit of writing something and forget to eat and, all of those things. But yeah, I don't know. I think it's interesting to look at life that way sometimes and think, how would this have looked like 15 years ago? How would it have looked when I was a student? I would have just, I was the person who would work on my coursework, for just days, and just that's all I would do, and staying up really late. I was also a person that would work later in the day, so I would start maybe after lunch and then work late at night. Whereas now I'm working during the school day, and then what will that look like when my children are older and maybe my work day is longer? Or what would it look like if I wasn't teaching as well? And I even sometimes think, what would it look like when I retire? I just think it is quite interesting to think about these things and how life changes, and everything's always a phase. And like I said, the pros and cons of each thing. Anyway, let's get into some more writing. I'm going to stick up the writing sprint banner. We'll do another 15 minutes, and then we'll be back here for another chat. Do feel free to drop things into the comments. If you have a thought while we're writing, drop it in there and we can talk about it in the break. Anyway, I'm going to mute myself. See you in 15 minutes. Wow, that absolutely flew by. I set an alarm so that I don't miss, because when I first started doing these live streams, sometimes the 15 minutes was a lot longer than that. So yeah, I set myself an alarm. When it went off, I was like, that can't have been 15 minutes, goodness me, because I was just really enjoying writing. How is it going? What are you working on? I yeah, just really got into like an interesting part. The tricky thing is, everything I'm writing, I'm like, oh, I need to go on to talk about this and this and this. I think as this thing evolves, it's going to be really interesting, and I'm liking the sort of, I suppose, sort of thought experiment of doing it, like just the getting my head into how to best explore the topic that I'm writing about. Interestingly, yesterday I ended up helping my husband. So he is doing an OU degree. He's been doing it for years and years and years. He's almost finished. And the module that he's doing right now has a lot of essay writing, and it's not his strength. He's good at problem solving, logic. You know, if he's so he's studying STEM, science, technology, engineering, and maths, but particularly sort of electronics engineering. And so he's a person who will be given a problem, will see how you can navigate through that to find a solution, and can find the tools to do that. So that's his skill set. But writing that out in a sort of a story arc, because there's even a story arc in an essay or a report, you know, actually kind of explaining it in that way is not his forte, whereas it is mine. And I can sort of see the sense of like I said, like story, how you have to navigate through, here is a problem, here's how we're going to tackle it, here's how we did tackle it, and here's what we found out, and making sure that anything that's raised is then navigated through and all those threads are held. That's my skill set. And many times when he's been working on things, I've said, oh, I'm happy to sort of have a look through and proofread it for you, or sort of help you. And in the past, he's always been like, no, it's okay. It's not sort of a big enough piece for that to be necessary. That this one is a more extended piece of writing. And for him, he is not a procrastinator, certainly not like me, but he was procrastinating because he doesn't want to do it because it's not his skill set. So we sat down together and I helped him to get the words down and to see sort of, you know, how to structure it. So we sort of worked together to get what, you know, he had done the work for and done the research for and the calculations and knew sort of the solution and all of that, but to actually write it into a report form, if that makes sense. Anyway, my point of that was that I just really enjoyed it. I enjoy the experience of, even though I'm not particularly interested in what he's studying, just the challenge of like, how do we convey this in the best way and make sure that we are following, like holding all the threads and following them through and not dropping something or not picking something up and having not, you know, mentioned that earlier, or I just really like doing it. So yeah, it was just lovely, really, to do, and really helped him out. So yeah, for me, like any kind of writing, as I said before on here, I struggle the most with fiction just because that's where I don't have as much experience. But taking a topic, and trying to explain it and think of all the different facets and following those through is, to me, is fun. It's not for him. So that's why it helped. Yeah, so it's funny. I don't know. We're all very different. So we're going to do our last 15-minute writing sprint. Again, I'm going to mute myself. Hopefully get some more words down. Don't actually know how much have I written, because actually I was kind of moving stuff around as well. So I've probably written something like maybe 600-700 words while I've been here, and also sort of edited stuff and looked a couple of things up. So I am very happy. I'm gonna just try and get a bit more coherence about the section that I'm writing. Yeah, and that's where I'm at. So another 15 minutes. I'm going to stick myself on mute. Oh, I've still got my banner up. Well, there we are. I don't need to change it. So here goes. Last little writing sprint. Enjoy. So that is the end of our writing. Again, that went so fast. When I paused my music, both of my dogs stood up. So I am very aware that they might start playing. So if it sounds like savage beasts are suddenly attacking my house, it's not. It's that my two dogs have woken up from their sleep on the sofa and want to play. So yeah, and you might be able to hear them walking around. Yeah, again, I was like really in the right headspace and got a lot down. So very enjoyable, actually. Hello, one of my dogs. Yeah, exciting. I always like it when writing is sort of successful and it doesn't feel like a slog. It feels like there are words. So yeah, a productive morning. I must have written about 1,000 words, I think, and got my head a little bit more about what I want to say. And it's definitely sort of growing. This project is exciting, and I will share with you at some point soon what I am doing. But yeah, it was good. Let me know what you've been doing over these writing sprints. I'd love to know what you're working on. How has it gone? Was it successful? Was it hard work? Is it helpful having the company? Like, I most likely have ADHD. I've made a video about that before. So this kind of body doubling is good stuff. The fact that I'm here and I know that you are watching me, and even if I like join somebody else's, means that there's like an accountability, and that really helps me. Interestingly, I have just found out that assessment for neurodiversity is not as expensive as I had been led to believe. So I am seeking diagnosis for some of my family members. So that's going to be really interesting. And if you are interested, and if it feels comfortable and appropriate to share any of those details, then let me know, and perhaps I'll make a video about some of it. But yeah, like neurodiversity, I mean, come on, as writers, surely many of us, if not all, have some kind of neurodiversity. Does that sound fair? Like, we are quite happy to sit alone for hours and hours obsessing over a particular topic or made up characters because we just really want other people to know about this world we have in our own head. That's got to have a lot of people who are not neurotypical who are part of that world. Same as I have a strong belief that many teachers are not neurotypical. Yeah, let me know what you think. I'm going to have to wrap this up before my dogs go completely mad. I wonder if they'll come over and say hi before I do. Dolly, come. Dolly, come and say hi to the people. Dolly, come. Come on. Oh, they're both coming. Come on. Do you want to say hi? Say hi to the people. Come on up. You're going to come up and say hi. I don't know. You see, they don't really jump up. They might not. You might. Yeah, you might. Come and say hello to the people. That's the people. This is the one who, when I did one of the writing sprints, threw up on the sofa and had to be crated. This is the troublesome one. This is the three-legged lurcher. You're a problem, aren't you? Don't bark at me. The one about to bark has dementia. Stop. I guess I'll have to stop here. Yeah, she will just bark and bark, and it's the doggy dementia. What a way to finish. Thank you. Take care. Bye.